Hello everybody, myself Professor Pallavi Kuli. So today we are going to see the cultivation practices for chestnut. Chestnut belong to the family Fabaceae. It has the botanical name as Castanea dentata. Basic chromosome number is 12. Introduction. The chestnut is similar to the acorn of oak. Chestnut trees are growing in the temperate climate of the world for more than 4,000 years for the beauty, fuel and shelter. The sweet chestnut is nutritious, low in fat, rich in vitamin B. Freshly harvested nut contains 50% of moisture, 40 to 42% of carbohydrates, 2.9% of the protein, and about 1.5% of fats. In addition to the good food source to the human being, chestnut also provides food for a number of wildlife species. Its wood is durable and used for timber and the furniture work. Chestnut are exceptional to all other nut trees in that they contain a little oil. Area and production. There is no organized plantation of chestnut in India. Only a stray plantation exists and in some plants grows wild in the forest of Himachal Pradesh, Darjeeling and Khasi Hills. Leading countries in the chestnut production are USA, China, Turkey, Korea, Italy, Japan and Spain. Total world production of chestnut is nearly 4,77,568 metric tons in an area of 18,430 hectare plantation with acreage productivity of about 1.84 tons per hectare. Soil. Chestnut can grow in all types of the soil, but it grows best in well-drained sandy or saddle loam soils. The soil should be moderate to slightly acidic. The chestnut trees withstand the moderate drought after a well-establishment climate. The chestnut can be grown in the wide range of the climate in the temperate areas. It is as hardy as the peach and can withstand as low as minus 29 degrees Celsius temperature in a deep dormancy. It requires a less chilling to break the bud dormancy in the spring. Buds respond quickly to the warm temperature and thus become subject to the damage by late spring frost. Rootstock and propagation. Some species of chestnut are used as a rootstock for propagation. Chestnut are highly cross-pollinated and a hybrid seedling used as a rootstock is a possible cause of a graft union failure in chestnut. Therefore, a mixed hybrid strains should be used as a rootstock. Propagation. Chestnut seeds planted immediately after the harvest showed a poor germination. The seeds are stratified for 50 to 60 days in the moist sand at 0 to 2.2 degrees Celsius to break the dormancy of the chestnut embryos and ensures the uniform germination. The chestnut stratification is the moist sand kept in the wooden boxes at a cool sandy place proved a better than any refrigerator because of the fluctuating temperatures under the field condition help in promoting the seed germination. The stratified seeds are sown in the nursery beds in the month of March. Grafting and budding. The chestnut has only one bud at each node, and if it is killed by a spring frost, bud break fails. So early grafting should be avoided. Splice grafting and tongue grafting done in the March are generally used for the propagation of chestnut. Chip budding also perform well. Varieties. Most of the nurserymen in the western countries grow only a seedling plant because of their easy availability at a lower price. However, grafted trees are superior to the seedling in nut production. The cultivars which are commercially important are Abundance, Grain, Gulling, Malling, Necking, Orin, Colby, and the Hemming. Planting density. The planting is done during the winters. Before planting, the site should be properly laid out with a contour or a terrace system. The pit should be prepared well in advance and refilled with a soil mixed with 60 kg of well-rotten FIM. Plants should be spaced about 30 feet apart as trees are very large in canopy. Pollination. All the cultivars and species of chestnut are self-sterile. Two or more cultivars and a seedling must be planted in the orchard to ensure the cross-pollination. Young orchard trees may not set nuts when the first flowers are formed because of the lack of pollination. When the young tree starts flowering, a few staminated catkins apparently do not produce enough pollens to fertilize the pistillated flowers. Chestnut is wind pollinated as well as insect pollinated. Canopy management. The Chinese chestnut form a low-headed tree if left unpruned. Unpruned tree starts bearing early than a severely pruned ones. Early pruning stimulates the vegetative growth. Hence, for the early nut production, orchard trees should not be pruned for a few years. An ideal practice is to allow the trees to come into the bearing before any pruning is done. Then remove only a few of the lowest branches each year until the tree is properly headed. Lower limbs are removed gradually from the trees and the practice is continued. The lowest branch should be kept at a height of 1 meter from the ground and therefore the branches should be spaced spirally at a distance of 40 centimeters from one another. Nutrition. The chestnut trees are mostly planted on eroded upland soils, so it is important to fertilize the trees regularly. At least half kg 15 as to 15 as to 15 NPK mixture per year age of the tree should be applied before a sprouting or in the early spring. A full bearing tree should be supplied with 100 kg of FIM and 6 to 8 kg of NPK mixture during December and January. Irrigation. Well established trees can withstand a moderate amount of drought. Chestnut is generally grown under rain-fed conditions but need adequate moisture for at least 2 months after blooming. Irrigation at fortnightly intervals after blooming is desirable for the better fruit size, yield, and nut quality. Maturity and harvesting. The chestnut matures in the first fortnight of October in Himachal Pradesh conditions. The burr color changes from the green to the light brownish and the split open during the maturity, releasing the nuts. Chestnut are very perishable crop that requires a prompt harvesting every third days. Traditionally, chestnut are hand grated from ground after falling naturally. In USA and other developed countries, the chestnut are harvested mechanically by shaking the purs from the trees and using the mechanically pick up device during the winter. During together the nuts, the harvested chestnuts are treated with fungicide to prevent the spoilage. These nuts are then cured for the 5 days at 21 degrees Celsius on an average. The harvested period of each tree is 23 days at the maturity is not uniform in chestnut. Seedling trees yielded 26 kg of the nuts at 12 years of age. So this was all about the cultivation practices of chestnut. Thank you.